In this video, we're going to take a look at the GROW coaching method. Now, the reason to coach is that it improves your own performance by helping other people to improve their performance. And as the leader, your performance is the sum total of the performance of your team. So as your team improves their performance, you too as a leader will improve your overall performance as well. So coaching itself is all about helping others to make or to solve problems, make better decisions, to learn new skills or progress in their careers. And again, as they develop, then that will result in their individual performance improving and also your performance as the leader improving. Okay, so the fundamental approach is to help the coachee discover answers for themselves rather than giving them instructions or telling them how to solve the issue or the problem at hand. And the way to do that is by asking questions. Now, there will be times when you need to provide the answer yourself. If the employee solution is going to bankrupt the company, for example, you might need to step in and provide, appropriate direction. We'll cover that in another video. Anyway, today we're looking at the GROW method, and GROW has 4 parts, G-R-O-W, goal, reality, options, and will. So under goal, as a coach, you just ask simple questions. What are you trying to achieve? What is your goal? Then under reality, you're asking questions around what's happening now, what the situation is now. So what is happening now? What is the current situation? That's a couple of questions you could ask. Options, you're asking what choices the coachee, the other person, thinks they have, what things they have considered. And also through your questioning, you're going to promote the idea that they can come up with more choices or more options or more solutions. And then you'll move on to the will. And the will is all about what you're going to do now. What's the next step for you? Will in this case means, well, it could also mean way forward or wrap up, but it's really about the coachee making their own action plan rather than you making an action plan for them. So on this page you'll see a series of questions that you can ask. You may want to stop the video and have a look. I appreciate on an iPhone or something like that this might be a little bit small, but you can take a screenshot, and these are some of the questions that you can ask as you go through the GROW process. All right, let's look at an example. Now, this is a case where an employee is struggling with work-life balance and stress. They come to you, the employee comes to the manager rather, and says, I've been struggling with work-life balance. The manager says, thanks for sharing that, and then asks a question. If things were working better, perhaps for you, what would that look like? The employee replies, the manager answers to that, the manager replies to that and says that sounds important, reaffirming what the employee has said. So your goal is to reduce stress and so on. And then the employee says, yes, exactly. So through questioning and paraphrasing, the employee, the coachee, is beginning to feel heard. But also the manager is asking questions to get the employee, the coachee, to think things through for themselves. So here now the manager's asking questions around the current situation. So at the beginning, what's happening right now that's making it difficult to achieve that balance? The employee replies, the manager asks a couple more questions, the employee replies a little bit more, and then having gone hopefully a little bit deeper in a real case, but this is just an example, then they move on to options. Manager starts asking, what kind of things have you thought about? What possible ways forward do you see? Again, the manager is not giving her own solution here. She's saying, what ideas do you have as the coachee, rather than trying to force a solution onto the coachee herself. Then after that, they move on to the will. And the will, as I said earlier on, is this idea of making an agenda or a plan or a set of actions that the employee, the coachee, is going to take. Again, the manager is not forcing the employee in a certain direction, although they may hint at a couple of directions. But the idea here is to get the employee, to get the coachee to think of their own solution to the problem and their own plan. And that creates ownership. And then they wrap up. And of course, the manager is always there giving help whenever it's required, which is obviously what great managers do. Anyway, that's a simple overview of the GROW coaching method. And just to repeat, it's all about improving your own performance by helping people in your teams be the best that they can be. And coaching is a great way to do that. Now, I did mention at the beginning that if you need to actually give an answer, because there are cases where you need to provide an answer to the coachee, well, A great way to do that is by using a coaching style, and we'll cover that in another video. If you'd like to know more about coaching, you can check out my book, The Practical Coach. It's available on Amazon. All these examples are from there, so if you don't have time to watch all the videos, you can just grab a copy of the book, or you can just wait for the next videos. I'll be posting more and more over the coming few days. Thank you.